guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Sophie and I run the small Etsy business Sophie in Somerset. I'm a traditional artist living in the southwest of England, and I turn my art into largely stationery based products such as prints, bookmarks and stickers. It feels like I haven't chatted to you guys in so long. I think last time I chatted to you is before I took my products to Big Church Festival. I sold my products for the very first time at a festival. So I have all of my thoughts and stats to share with you in this video. I'll be sharing you how much I made, some of the artists that I saw there, and more importantly, I've had some really deep thoughts about my business. And we're going to be pivoting, which is very exciting. I'm going to chat with you some of my ideas in this video. Also, so if you're new here, I am mum to a 3-year-old little boy as well, and I work part-time in a school, and we're back to school now in September. And because I've got this academic mindset of working in a school and going back to school, and like September being like a clean slate, we're going to do a bit of an autumn reset. I want to go through with you some of the things that I got for my birthday, because my birthday was last month. We're going to have a little bit of a tidy up and a rejig of the studio, have a bit of a fresh start again with this fresh mindset on the business. And also, I want to have a go at doing an autumn drawing with you today, a painting actually, to be precise, using a Zorn palette. Now I'm going to chat with you about Zorn palettes later on in the video, but we're going to do that together today. I've got some new pens ready for Peachtober. If you don't know about Peachtober, it's a month-long challenge hosted by Furry Little Peach. I do it every year. So I've got some new pens that I want to swatch ready for that. We also have a couple of orders to pack in this video. I only have, again, as always, only a few hours in the studio. I think I have about 3 hours today to get a painting, to do some swatching and unboxing with you and pack orders. It's going to be pushing it, but we're going to do it, guys, because if you are a parent, you know you have to make the most of these small windows of time, and that's how long I've got today. That's what I'm going to get doing. But before we get going, last weekend I actually went with my mum to a local gardens near us called the Newton, Somerset. If you've been with me a while, I think I've featured it before on this channel. But it's a lovely, it was actually like a hotel and spa, but they have beautiful gardens, and we have membership to the gardens because we live so nearby. And me and my mum did some plein air there last weekend, and I thought it's a good way to start off this video because it's their actual harvest this weekend there. They grow all of their own apples and they make cider and lots of apple juice, and all the produce that they make in the gardens you can buy in the farm shop, and they also use it in the hotel as well, and the restaurants on site. So I want to share with you the plein air drawing that we did last weekend because I just think it fits with the autumn vibes, and I really want to share it with you. So we're going to watch that now, and then when you come back, we are going to do some unboxing of some small business goodies that I got for my birthday, and also what I purchased at Big Church Festival. And yeah, we can get going on a busy morning in the studio. So I'm so happy with this little drawing that I did. It's not perfect, but I had so much fun sitting there. It was actually quite warm in the sun with my mum. And I just use Ecoline brush pens. That's all I use for this drawing. Oh, and a fine liner at the end just to do some detail, but that's all I used. And I just love the colours more than anything. And it was a really great time doing that with my mum, like I said as well. So that was last weekend. This is this weekend now. So I just want to share a bit of a small business unboxing before we get going, and also a book that I bought with my birthday money, which is set the scene for the painting that we're going to do today. But let's get going with the small business unboxing first of all. So this piece came from my husband, my lovely husband Stephen, and this is from the Sugar Bell. I'm going to tag all of these small businesses down below. But I love the Sugar Bell. You probably, if you're watching this video, you might well have stumbled across her on YouTube as well. If you haven't, please go and check her out. She is hilarious. She is a teaching assistant in her school as well. I identify with a lot of things that she's saying about school life. She's got 2 kids and she makes beautiful drawings. So I got this British wildflowers art print, A3 art print. Look how stunning that is. I'm going to be putting it up on my wall right after I finish this filming this clip, because I think it's going to be perfect to brighten up my studio. And also in here, some other goodies. So where is the thank you card? So this is the thank you card, which I just think is really, really cute. And this, I don't know if you're a 90s baby like myself, you may have remembered. Do you remember there was like a doll and you could feed the doll? I think it was like called Baby Orgon, because they had this spoon and you pretended to feed them like like a jar of cherries, and the cherries disappeared off the spoon. This is what this image reminds me of. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, or if you think I'm making absolutely no sense, just ignore me. This is a lovely freebie sticker I got. And look, it glistens. Little doggy, and I think it's modelled off, those China doggies that you used to see on mantelpieces that your grandma might have had. And I got these 2 sticker sheets. So the first one is positive affirmation stickers, and I just love the colours. You might not be able to read them here because it's a bit small lettering, but I just love the colours. Beautiful. And then I also got this pastel Pantone sticker set, and I just think they're really, really cool. I think they just look really good in my bullet journal and planner. So pretty. That's from the Sugar Bell. And also, what else did I get? I also got this little goodies. It's in an envelope because I have obviously opened this up. So this is from Salt Art Supply. That is their website. Like I said, I'll tag them down below. They do have an Instagram page. So they are a art shop down in Cornwall. If you watched my Cornwall video last year, I actually went to the shop itself. So from them, I got this vinyl sticker, emotional support sketchbook, which is so me. And then I got, and this was the the title thing on it, the little label on it. It's a scrap pack. So basically, it's a load of offcuts of things. It says what it said. This is all the things that was in the pack. So it's got like a couple of like old-fashioned stamps. This one. And then it's got like some this is like a collectible card. And it's just got some offcuts of like backing paper. This is like a label sticker. Another backing paper, another little wildflower card, and then yeah, like literally just bits of like magazine cuttings again, some paper, and these are some bits of card, and then also like this handmade paper, like offcuts of cards, bits of photos, card, and again another off bit of cut paper, like you can see like the rest of like the writing on it, and then like a blank postcard. And I just think it's so great for obviously journaling, scrapbooking. I'm trying to get back into doing like prayer journaling. If you're new here, I'm a Christian artist. So I do a lot of prayer journaling. And this is just great. And I just think if you are into like scrapbooking, journaling, if you have pen pals, it's just a really cool idea. And I just think having a like bunch of random stuff that you don't have to collate yourself just sparks imagination straight away. I think sometimes when I come to doing collage and journaling, and the thought of actually having to gather supplies almost puts me off before I start. So this gives you like a good launch pad, like a good starting point. So that's from Soul Art Supply, and that's like a cute little sticker that was on there. And then very exciting, when I went to Big Church Festival, I have my lanyard and like guide of the event here. Big Church Festival, I wore this when I was going around. I found one of my fellow small business owners there who I didn't know was going there. So if you've followed me for a while, you know that I'm part of Emily Harvey's eHearts community. And there was a fellow member of the eHearts community there. And I got a goodie bag of my lovely friend. So I think it's Stationery London. I'm going to tag her down below because I need to get her name exactly right on there. I'm hoping that her thank you card is in here somewhere. Creative Stationery London. That's her like logo there. So I got lovely bag, and if you watched my last studio vlog, I think it was in my last studio vlog, I got Coco Natasha's new planner, and she actually makes all of those planners, and the planner that Emily Harvey brought out, she made it, and she makes it all, whilst having, I think she's got 3 kids. I don't know how she does it. Lovely lady. But I got this mystery bag, so it came like this. And in the mystery bag, I got these 4x6 postcard pack. Beautiful colours. So they have like sayings on the front, and then Bible verses on the back. And then I've got this really cute little notepad. I love the shape, the art shape of this. This beautiful bookmark, and honestly, this is like velvet touch. So pretty. I love the colour. It's gold foiled. She does lovely gold foiled like pencils, and you can personalize them as well. So I'll tag her down below. Please go and check her out. So she doesn't just have faith items. There are like diaries. You can have like plain diaries without the faith element. But if you are a fellow Christian, it is beautiful faith-based stationery. And then this notebook, which she made herself, like she did all of this at home, all this binding. Again, really velvety touch, gold foiled. And this is sermon notes. So I haven't got an actual sermon notepad. So inside it's lined, but it's not just lined. On here, you can write the preacher that you listen to, the sermon title, the scripture reference, and your notes. And on the other side, it's got more room for more notes. And I just think that's a really good idea, because I'm one of these people that does write the notes from my sermons actually directly in my Bible. I do a lot of Bible journaling as well. But sometimes, especially if I'm going to more of a conference rather than just a Sunday morning service, I do take a notebook then rather, because there's so many notes, it's not going to fit just in my Bible margins. And then I write in notes, and then I forget, who it was that was speaking, where it was to, or I just have loads of random notebooks, whereas this one I can keep them all together. So amazing. And it was just so great to see her at Big Trust Festival. So those are my goodies. Oh, apart from, my mum got me a set of marker pens. So these aren't the Hoo-hoo, like, are they called a Hoo-hoo? The really expensive, famous ones. These are your budget version, and I'm here for it. I am all about using art supplies that are budget alongside more expensive supplies. I think the most fancy supplies that I have are like Neo colors, and I have some Prismacolor pencils. But most of my stuff, I have a few Holbein gouache. Most of my stuff comes from cheap stores, and they are the cheap replicas. So I am all for, you don't need to spend loads of money on art supplies. I am a young mum. I do not have that much spare money to spend on these things. So we are going to be swatching these later on. Look at these. So how many? There's 48. And I'm setting myself to challenge for Peach Chamber this year. I am just going to be using these pens. This is the only art supplies I'm going to be using. I might treat myself to a fine liner for some detail. But apart from that, this is all I'm going to be using. So I'm excited to swatch them, to see the colours that come out, and also to see how they blend. Yeah, very, very exciting. So if you're in the UK, these came from the range, but B&M have versions. I mean, I think every store has versions of these now. So yeah, very, very excited. And it comes in this cute little carry case. So we're going to be swatching those in a moment. And then with my birthday money, I treated myself to some willow charcoal sticks. I'm not going to get that out because they're wrapped in tissue, but I use charcoal. I would say, I'm not going to say a loads, but I use them a fair amount of time. And I'm using them more and more and finding. The further I'm going on in my art practice, the more simplified I'm making my stuff. How it's funny how you go on. I think when you first start out, you think layer, all of this different materials. And I do like mixed media, but you don't need to throw the kitchen sink in with things. Sometimes less is more. But so I've got lots of different charcoal sticks, but this is willow charcoal. So this is really, really thin, really, really fine. And you get lots more organic shapes and textures. So I treated myself to this. And then also, if you have been with me, where is it? Behind me. If you have been with me since the start of my YouTube video, start of my YouTube journey from the very first video, I think it was the second or maybe the third video, I was trying to experiment with my art style, and I went to the library and I found this book in the library and I loved it, and I did a few pieces from it in my sketchbook. And I've thought about this book ever since. I think it's such a beautiful book. And last year I saw it in a shop and I was like, I really want it. And I didn't get it. And I've thought about it ever since. I said, next year with my birthday money, I'm going to get it. And then I planned to get it when I went to the New last weekend with my mum, and it wasn't there, even though I've known it's previously been in the shop. And I got so sad, and blessed my husband. He specifically drove me over to somewhere else that I knew sold it to get it in that afternoon, because I was so sad because I had saved my birthday money for it. And it is this beautiful book. As you can see, massive book. And I think it's actually a children's book, but the images in it are stunning. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples. So this is so big, but so this is a painting of an owl. Beautiful. I'm trying to find the one that I did a picture of, because I did another owl picture in my old sketchbook. I'm probably not going to be able to find it now. This is the one that I did last time. Oh, look at the lovely colour of the lavender. It's got a fox and an owl. And I just think the illustrations are beautiful. So I got this one. And if you've been following me on social media and things, I think I might have featured on this vlog, but certainly on my social media, I've been doing a series of bird mixed media pieces. And I called it Birds of the Bible. And my intention was to make a series, a product launch with all of the images. I might still be doing that. But when we chat in a bit about the direction this business is going to be taking, I might be changing my idea on that. But this image in here sparked something for me. So you see these lovely little images of sparrows. And I really want to have a go at doing my own sparrow image. So what have I done so far? It started off with a kingfisher that I did quite a while ago. I did a paint with me on this YouTube channel, and I loved how the kingfisher turned out. And I thought, what about if I did a series of birds from the Bible? So I think I've done a raven, I've done an eagle. So now I want to do a sparrow, and I still want to do a dove in time for Christmas. And I thought the colours of this really suit the Zorn palette, and I've really wanted to have a go at doing a Zorn palette for a while now. So if you don't know what Zorn is, so it is a kind of reduced color palette, traditionally like you use for like kind of landscapes and things, but you can use it for portraiture. And it's just 4 colors. So it is, I've got it here on the table ready to go. So it is a black. Specifically, it's meant to be ivory black. But full disclosure, I've got Mars black because I don't have ivory black. So a black. And then cadmium red. And this is what I'm talking about. Like I have a Systems 3 acrylic. And then this one is Bruno Franklin, but you can see it was like £1.49 in B&M. But it is a cadmium red, yellow ochre, again Systems 3 Daleroni, so little mid-range. And then it's meant to be titanium white, but I've got mixing white because again I don't have titanium white. And then this is graduate acrylic. Oh, it is Daleroni, so it is again mid-range. So you just use those 4 colours to make your piece. So I'm going to have a go now at making my sparrow. So I'm going to do base layer with just these acrylics. And then I think I'm going to need to let that dry because I want this to be mixed media. So all my other pieces, they've been acrylic or gouache base. Most of the time it's been acrylic. So this is just going to be acrylic. And I'm going to go over the top with some coloured pencils. So I think let's paint the base. I have 2 orders that I need to pack. So thank you to Sarah and Samantha. Thank you, Sarah and Samantha. I always try and pack my orders either in my studio vlogs or I share it on social media. So if you order from me, somewhere your order packing will be posted. So I'm going to pack those 2 orders in between whilst the base layer is drying, and then we're going to go over the top with some coloured pencils. That's the next thing we're going to do. Then once we finish that, we will have a chat about how much I made at Big Church Festival because I do want to share that with you and my thoughts on the business. And then we'll finish off the video today with the colour swatching of the pens. Was that everything that I needed to do? I need to put up that print as well. I think that's everything. Let's crack on with the painting because that always takes the longest. So yeah, let's just use the Zorn palette. So we're just going to be mixing those colours together to get the colour of the sparrow. Really autumnal colours. It fits in with the autumn vibes that we're going for today. Pack the orders, go over the colour pencils. I'll check back in with you to see how the Zorn palette went. Did I enjoy doing it? Was it easy? I'll let you know on the flip side. the sparrow is complete. So that's the Zorn palette on the side there, the 4 colours. It probably wasn't that much of a chance to use the Zorn palette on the sparrow because it's very autumnal colours anyway. Lots of ochres and blacks. So I didn't really have to. I obviously mixed up a little bit to get the more browns with the red and stuff. But I'd like to revisit this Zorn palette by doing like an autumnal landscape. So if you want to try it yourself, I'd highly recommend it, especially we're in the perfect time of year to give that a go. So you need ivory black, or I use any type of black, cadmium red, yellow ochre, and then ideally a titanium white, but any white really. So that was so much fun, and I love him. I love how I managed to get quite a decent amount of texture in him. Really, really pleased. So he will be coming in my winter shop update. He will be coming as a print into the shop along with the other Birds of the Bible series. I think I'm going to do them as individual prints, and all of my prints on my Etsy shop are available in A4 and A5. And then I'm thinking of doing a print with all of the birds and like the name of the bird underneath, and then probably the Bible verse where you can find them. I think that would be really cool. If you want to see that, let me know down in the comments. Now, originally, my Birds of the Bible series was going to be a whole product range with, I was going to make a repeating pattern. I might still do, but this was the plan. Repeating pattern, I was going to do my first washi tape. I haven't done any washi tapes, and as you know, if you follow me for a while, that is one of my dreams. That washi tape and enamel pin are 2 of my real big goals to do. I'm not going to probably make the enamel pin this year, but next year will be the year. And like a notebook and things like that as a repeating pattern. However, off the back of Big Church Festival, I have made the big decision. I am going to be pivoting my business. Now, let me unpack a little bit with you now, and I'll give you the stats of how much I made at Big Church Festival. But a lot more of this will be featured in December. I normally do like a goals video. I look back on the goals I made last year. We rewatch the video that I made the previous year and make goals for the coming year. So I'm going to talk more about this then, and also you'll be seeing it start to play out from January onwards. I'm going to carry on with most of the plans I've got for the rest of the year. I'm probably not going to be investing too heavily in product-based things because I'm going to be pivoting what products I make. But I'm going to see how the birds all turn out together and see if I do make a few products with them all on. And I have got some ideas for like another winter rangey thing because I am going to be doing the eHearts market again this year. More about that in the next video because we're going to be doing all the prep and stuff. I want to make an exclusive eHearts product for that. That's another time. Stay on track, Sophie. Don't ramble. But we are going to be pivoting the business. And I need to also get rid of all my old stock because we're going to be changing the products that we make and the type of art that we're going to be creating. So I need to get rid of all of my old stock. So if you in the market for a bargain, there are going to be lots of bundles coming to my shop. I'm going to be making loads of little cute gift sets in time for Christmas and stocking fillers. I might be doing specific stocking filler range, like filler stocking for a certain amount of price maybe. And then I'm going to be doing a clearance sale in January where you're going to be getting some real bargains. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure you'll follow me on social media and maybe also give my Etsy shop a follow because that way, if you follow the Etsy shop, if you click the little heart that follows the Etsy shop, every time I do a product drop or anything like that, you get notified. So make sure you're following my Etsy shop. Right, I've been promised it for a while now. How much did I make at Big Church Festival? So this was the first festival that I took my products to. If you didn't watch the run up to it, I didn't have my own stall. Actually, a lovely lady who actually runs the shop that I stock my products in the neighbouring city of Wells, actually took my products. So actually, I only had a very small section of their stall. I gave them quite a few products, and I did display all of them. However, probably not in the way that I liked, but they were doing me a favour. They didn't charge me anything for the stall, and I just had to give 15% commission, which really, considering how much those tables cost, like we're talking hundreds of pounds, that was amazing. So the event was Friday to Sunday, and I had a very small section, and when I looked at it, I was like, they put my notebooks right at the top. If you saw you saw the video of Sussex, my Sussex vlog, I showed the Big Church Festival in that, and I showed my products on the stall. So the lady who stalled it was, she makes wooden products like wooden nativities and decorations and home decor and things like that. So they probably didn't go together very well anyway, because I've got stationery items and things with wooden stuff. However, it was a great opportunity for me, and this is my long-term goal, to be tabling at these kind of events. So it was a really good like taster session for me. But it was right stuffed in the corner. They weren't displayed very well. You couldn't really see my bookmarks at all. The products in my journaling bundles had fallen down. They didn't get shook back up again. Like I said, my notebooks were right at the top. You couldn't see them. However, all being said, I still made £60. Now, £60 is not anything to be snuffed at. I have done craft fairs before. I've documented it on here where I've made absolutely nothing. So £60 is £60. You know, it's £20 a day. Doesn't sound that great when you break it down. However, it's going to, fund 3 months worth of rental space in the physical shop that I'm in. So it is certainly nothing to be sniffed at, and it required very minimal effort for me. I did the prep obviously to send it, but I didn't have to stand at the store at all over the weekend. I was able just to enjoy the event as a festival goer. So, I'm still glad I did it. But what it has done is made me really think about the business. I think seeing my products, granted, not displayed how I would like, but seeing them on the stall at the event that is my goal, and seeing them alongside other small businesses, like Fee, who is my fellow eHearts member who was there, who I showed you the unboxing earlier, and other artists and small makers. There was quite a few artists there, and some of them were traditional artists as well. I think sometimes being a traditional artist rather than just doing digital art does set you apart a little bit more, because it's less easy to replicate your art style when you're a traditional artist. But there were other traditional artists there. There was other stationery stalls. Interestingly, although Fee does beautiful personalized pencils and gold foil on her pencils, there was nobody else doing pens. And you could tell that because all of my Faith Over Fear pens sold out completely, and half of my Created to Create pens sold out. My Created to Create pens are these ones here. I don't know how it's going to focus. And it's got kind of like the stylus on the end for phone. Just notice I've got paint on my hand from doing my sparrow guy. So half of those sold out. So you could tell that the pens were popular. And it made me think, if I want to do this long term, I need something that's going to make me stand out amongst the crowd more. And I had chats with my husband whilst we were there. And then since coming home, and I'm part of the eHearts community that I keep going on about, but we jumped on some small business Zoom calls, and it's made me realise that if I want to make this business a success, and if I want it to really pay for itself and more going forward, and ideally fund a lifestyle that means that I'm able to be more available for my little boy, for that to be my part-time job alongside parenting, I need to think more seriously about it. And I was talking about this to my husband. He said, you just need to find your thing. He said, if you think about other small businesses that are really popular, they all have a thing. Yes, they have a range of products, so it's not just that one thing that they do, but they have a one thing that they are famous for, and people come to them for that thing, and then therefore buy other products in the same range with the same design or similar things. So, for example, if you think about Coco Natasha, her apparel, second to none. Yes, she does other things, like she got her planners and she has prints and she does calendars and things like that. But if you think about her apparel is what you know her for. Her first one that really took off, that small business big dreams jumper. I've got a t-shirt and a jumper in that. How many people on YouTube, when that first came out, did you see people wearing those jumpers in their videos, right? And still do. I still do. Emily Harvey Art, Pin Chanted. She's known for the pins. Yes, she does other products as well, but it's her pins she's known for. Fee, my lovely eHearts fellow friend who was at Big Church Festival, she makes the planners for eHearts, for Emily Harvey and for Coco Natasha, and obviously her own range of planners. That's her thing. That is her niche. That's what she's good at. It's what she's known for. Yes, she makes other things, but that's what she's known for. Rebel Jones, she has known for doing a Kickstarter every year for her bullet journals. Her bullet journals are the best quality bullet journals I've ever seen. If you think about it, and once I started thinking about it, yeah, you're right. You know, all these people do have that thing that they're known for that sets them apart, that makes people go there to their small business and then buy other things off the back of it. And he said, you just need to find your thing. What is it that sets you apart? What's going to make you stand out? And then the Zoom call that I was on this week with Emily Harvey, she gave this good analogy, and I can't remember it in fully, so I'm going to totally butcher it now. But she said, what a lot of small businesses do, and this is what I've been guilty of, is you throw a load of spaghetti at the wall and you see what sticks. But what you should be doing is picturing who is your target audience, who is the person that you want to reach. And imagine taking them out for a meal, sitting them down and presenting them with a beautiful, carefully curated menu of food that you know that they'll love. And that's exactly what I've been doing wrong. And I think actually, I say wrong, but I think I need to give myself some grace, really, because I think we're all in the same boat. When we start a small business, I knew that I wanted to start a small business and spend more time at home with my little boy. I know a traditional artist. I knew I wanted to use my traditional art, but I didn't necessarily know what products I wanted to make. So I just made products that I enjoyed doing and out of the art that I already had. What's happened is that I've got a really varied and eclectic product range, which on the face of it, you think, oh, that's great, you're going to appeal to more people. But actually, what you end up doing is just getting lost in the noise of the market, the already flooded market. So on the face of it, it seems really counterproductive to narrow down your target audience. But once you find your people and the people that get it, then you're on to a winner. And I think this is where I've been going wrong. I have been scared in the past to really nail down into my niche of being a Christian artist because I wanted to appeal to more people. And it has been working. You know, there's only been 1 month this year that I have failed to get an Etsy sale. I'm getting, consistent Etsy sales now. Etsy is paying for itself. I got my physical products in a shop, and although that's not fully paying for itself, it's bringing in extra revenue. It's getting my name out there to more people. So I'm not necessarily doing anything wrong, but I do want this to be a successful business moving forward and for a number of years as well. So therefore, I have made a decision. I am going to be pivoting the business. I am going to be really nailing down to my niche. And there is a specific product that I have in mind that I don't think other people have done. I'm not going to say it now because I'm still in the process of working it out. And actually, that's what you're going to see probably from January onwards in the studio vlogs, me trying out this product and trying to make a formula that works. So what does this mean for the business? It means I'm going to be really trying to sell off all my old stock. So if you are in the market for a bargain, make sure you're following my Etsy shop. If you follow my Etsy shop actually on Etsy, you'll be notified whenever there's product drops and things. But at least follow me on Instagram because I will be saying when I'm going to be doing sales. I'm going to be making lots of bundles for Christmas. I'm going to be doing lots of stocking fillers because a lot of my products are kind of pocket money prices and good size for stockings. I'm going to do a big clearance sale in January. I'm going to start next year for a fresh. I'm going to be chatting more about pivoting my business in my goals video that will be coming out in December, because that's why I kind of share and save all of my business bits too. But my little sparrow guy that we just created will be coming to the shop, but probably not in the full range that I was planning on doing. I am really, really excited for this new chapter. I know it's really vague for you guys, and I hate when people are vague on videos, but I haven't really fully processed it myself. But I know what I'm doing. It's ticking over, but I want my business to do more than just tick over. Yeah, so that is my thoughts. So it really is an autumn reset. I kind of made it sound all kind of like, oh, I'm just going to put up a few new pictures and we're going to do an autumnal painting, but actually I'm pivoting my whole business. I'm going to document the whole process. Like I said, it's probably going to be kicking in more from next year because I'm going to be tying up all the loose ends before then, but I'm going to take you with me. So if you don't want to miss that, please hit that notification bell. I have been waffling for a very long time. So to finish off this video today, I want to swatch my new pens ready for Peachtober. I won't be sharing any of my prompts today. I might do it in the next studio vlog, but what I'm thinking of doing is doing a whole series of shorts on YouTube and reels on Instagram of each prompt, because I think that'd be really fun for October. So look out for those, but we're going to swatch them now. And then I also want to put that Sugar Bell print on my wall to give my studio a little bit of a refresh. And I will see you at the end to close out the vlog.
At 29 and I find myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be.
Thank you for joining me for this very chatty studio vlog. Yeah, I kind of had a bit of verbal diarrhea today, so I do apologize. But a lot of it is just me thinking out loud. And like I said, from the very first studio vlog on this channel, I've always tried to be as transparent and honest with you guys. So when things work, when things don't work in my business, and now I'm thinking of changing things, I really want to bring you on for the whole journey. So I'm really excited for the months ahead. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to look, but you can be sure that I'm going to bring you along. So in the next studio vlog, we will be getting ready for the eHearts market, which is an online market that will be taking place in November. We haven't officially released the date yet, so I'm not going to say anything because Emily Harvey will be doing that over the coming weeks. So make sure you're looking out for that. So yeah, I want to make an exclusive product for that. I'm not 100% sure what that product's going to be yet, but we will see. Yeah, so please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. God bless. Love you. Bye.